Hi everyone, this is Lynette from Remax Real Estate 10, and today I'm here with Vince Garner from Effective Home Inspections of East Tennessee, or of Tennessee. And he is my go-to person. Whenever I am with a buyer, I always give them options, full disclosure. I give them 3 or 4 to choose from. Typically, most buyers say, "Who's your trusted guy?"
Yeah.
And then I say it's Vince. We have a good working relationship. We've done many inspections together, and one thing that I really appreciate about Vince is that he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Try to be consistent.
Yes.
Always try to be consistent.
Yeah, he's going to tell you what it is and give you his best advice, and then of course we follow through with contractors to confirm any issues. But what I think is amazing is you not only work in Tennessee, but also Virginia.
I do. I'll go all the way down to Knoxville and then all the way up to Abington, Virginia. So, we're right here in the upper corner of East Tennessee, so there's a lot of business that goes on right around the Bristol, Virginia area up into Abington. So I'll basically drive. I'm stationed out of Bulls Gap, Tennessee, or Greenville. So I'll basically go about an hour and a half in either direction. And that's kind of my territory that I'll cover. And then if there's special occasions, we can talk about that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so what I think is neat is that you have a flat fee for your inspections, because most do it by square footage.
I do it by square footage, but I don't like quote individual inspections. I just kind of have a general rule. So it's based on 500 square feet increments, because we have to have something to kind of gauge by. But I don't charge extra for mileage and extra for a attached garage and all that. I don't do that. I just, at the end of the year, it kind of just equals out and averages out. So I don't try to get real picky with pricing. I try to give you a flat fee per square foot. And for instance, if it'll go 1,500 square feet to 2,000 square feet, which is $450. But if you're at 2,100 square feet, I'm not going to charge you the next tier up. I'm just going to leave it back down at the 2,000. I just think that's fair.
Right.
That's reasonable to do. I try to be reasonable with my pricing. I'm not the cheapest and I'm not the most expensive. I try to be kind of the middleman guy, and I try to make sure I'm consistent in my inspection. So I do the same thing every time.
You really do. And I think what's great is, like, not only are you consistent, but you have the best follow through of any home inspector I've used. You actually follow up and you check in a good 2 or 3 times,
Yes.
To make sure that the client's satisfied. Did they have all their questions answered? And, you probably think I'm nuts. The home inspections are probably my second favorite thing besides showing property.
Yeah.
Like, I always love revisiting the property and getting to really see it. And then, obviously the clients get to see it again, which is exciting for them. But I think, and you would probably agree, a lot of agents in Tennessee are not present for the home inspection.
No, and that's something you do. And I've got a handful of other clients, agents that do the same thing you do. They'll meet me at the end with a client. I like to do on-site reviews. I think it's very important. That's something else that I do as far as a value-added service that you don't really pay for. I just do it because I feel like the buyer and you are going to understand the report better if we can walk through the site together and talk about it. That way when you get the report, it's just going to make more sense. I mean, it is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life, your home. So, the idea of a home inspection is for me to go in and try to identify anything that's going to be a significant cost. Now, significant cost is different for everybody. Some might say, if I have to spend $1,000, that's a lot to me, and it is. It just depends on the person. Another person might say, well, a significant amount's $5,000. So every individual has to determine that themselves. But my job is to go in and look for significant problems with a house and identify that based on the standards of practice that we use at the state of Tennessee and Virginia. And then once I do that, then all this is going to be documented, and that's going to help you prioritize any repairs. Now, obviously, if there's significant repairs, that's where you come in and you represent the client, and you guys try to negotiate either, however you guys want to do it. So for me, I just want to identify the problems and get it in front of you and the client so y'all can decide which direction you want to do, repairs, cost reductions, however you guys want to do it, but and help you prioritize what's the most important thing. Obviously, safety concerns are always a big deal, so we want to be looking for anything that's safety. That's always up at the top. Water-related things are always at the top. And then probably your three most areas of significant problems that I find consistently will be in the roof, which is a major component of a home, the foundation, basements, we're always looking for water intrusion, which if it's a finished basement and you've got finished walls, I can't see in behind the walls, but I've got certain things that I do to try to detect moisture in behind the wall. So cracks and things like this in the foundation, those things can get very expensive. And then your HVAC would probably be the third top significant cost that a homeowner could spend on. Now, typically around 20 years is kind of the life of a HVAC unit in general. Now, you take some of the older carrier units, I've seen them last 30 years if they've been maintained and taken care of. But what I want to do is I go in, make sure all the standard controls work. I try to give you an idea of the age of the unit, and then, try to detect any major problems with the unit. Again, they are replaceable. Those are the type of things like roofs and HVACs. They just have a certain life, and they have to be replaced. So I want to look at the roof, I want to look at the HVAC and the foundation. Those are the three biggest areas that you're going to have a significant cost. I always tell everybody, don't ever skip a home inspection. I mean, the average fee is about 0.15% of the overall cost of the home. So you're looking at $400, $450 on average for a home inspection. And if I'm the trained set of eyes to go in and be representing the buyer, and I'm going in and trying to use my experience and my training to make sure you understand what you're getting into, to make sure it fits into your budget. I always tell people, if it's not me, just make sure you get a good, experienced home inspector. Never skip a home inspection. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
It's truly not.
And look at the reviews. I mean, I always look at a home inspector's reviews. That'll give you a good indication of their performance and what clients think. I just, years ago before Google came out, we didn't have reviews, but I use reviews no matter what.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since 2020, so I'm going on 5 years. I have a background in construction and engineering, so I did that for about 30 years. So it was very natural for me to roll over into a home inspection, home inspector, and I really enjoy it. I like representing the clients. I like educating the clients. I like, just being that guy to give them a peace of mind that they're comfortable in moving forward. Because when you get at the end of the day, the next step's going to be, okay, are we going to continue or are we going to stop in the big picture? And so I want to make you feel good about what you're doing and help you understand the big picture of looking at the home.
And that's why I love being there for the inspections, and especially if the clients can be there, because some of the things that happen in these homes just don't translate well with photography. And you really have to see it for yourself.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a picture or two, and I probably got, 5, 6, 7 sentences that I'm going to make a narrative or a comment about the picture and put arrows on it and those kind of things. So there's only so much that you can get out of that.
Yeah.
So being on site, that's why I feel like having the on-site review. A lot of home inspectors don't do it. A lot of home inspectors don't even want the buyer there.
That's crazy.
I want you there.
Yes.
I want you to come at the end, let me do my thing, because I just have a routine. And then when I get done, you come at the end of the inspection, and then if the agent's there, which is the best way to do it, we all talk about it and we get a good understanding of the condition of the house.
Yeah, it's really hard for us to ask for anything if we're not really understanding what it is, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just such an invaluable thing that you give to buyers.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is sellers can do these inspections prior to listing.
They can. You can do a pre-inspection. It's a very wise thing to do because I can go in and do the inspection of the house. If you've got any known issues with the house, you can point those out to me, and we're gonna get you a kind of a to-do list together, and we can look at those things, and you can look at it and you can go, now this is going to be an issue when we get ready to sell this house. We know a home inspector should catch this problem, and it can really slow down the process of selling your home. So getting a pre-inspection can make things run much smoother. Again, we're talking 400, 450. Your life's going to go a lot better when you go through the process of selling your home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're able to disclose issues with the house at the forefront, it not only saves you money in negotiating, but it saves a whole lot of trouble for everyone on both sides. Like, it causes so much.
It builds trust.
Yes.
Because trust is so important in this industry. Everything's moving fast. We've got short contingency periods, so we need to make sure that everybody's up front, everybody's being honest, and just be transparent. And it kind of is what it is, but it just runs smoother if everybody's up front and we just get everything out in the open and everybody's comfortable and understand what we're getting into.
Yeah. You know what you do that I also love is with new construction, you offer, buyers of new construction homes to come back at the 11-month mark.
Yes.
Before their 1-year builder's warranty expires, just to make sure that everything is settling well at the house, that there's no foundation problems. What else is something that you think buyers should watch for?
You've got that. Most builders will give you a 1-year warranty on the construction, so take advantage of it. As you're living through the home, and take notes. Well, this appliance seems to be intermittent in the way it's working, or this is rattling on the side of the house, or things like that. So get your list together, and obviously you want to call the builder as soon as you notice it, if you feel like it's something that needs to be addressed that quick. But at that 11-month mark, we call it 11-month warranty inspection. We'll go in and we'll just go back through the house and make sure everything is as it should be. It hasn't moved.
Now, is that a whole new inspection fee, or is it a lower fee?
It's the same amount of time. So as far as time goes to me and my travel time, all my expenses, it's all the same. So it's basically the same cost. Now, if you want to target like the roof and get a roof inspection, obviously the roof's a big part of the home. You can either, I typically will advise you can get a roofing company to come out and do it, or I can come out and do it as well. But we just want to make sure we don't have any missing shingles. Everything's still good and sealed, and everything's good and tight. So we want to make sure the roof at bare minimum is good shape, and then maybe look at the foundation. So I can adjust the pricing if you want me just to target a few areas, say the roof and foundation. I can do that.
Very good.
We can do that.
So now, I don't know if there's more than one, but what do you wish people inspected more that they typically don't?
As a home inspector, or just a homeowner?
Either. What do you think people are missing?
Basements is big water intrusion. Once you get any water, grading around the home is so critical. I can get out of the car, believe it or not, I've done it long enough, and I can look at the grading around the home and determine, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna probably have a problem in this corner of the house because the grading will be pushing water towards the foundation, and that's a biggie. It's easy to fix, but believe it or not, I've seen grading that's tilted towards the house that maybe would have cost $500 to regrade and get turned right, and it costs $50,000 worth of damage.
Oh my gosh.
Simple grading, or gutters. Keep your gutters up to speed. If the gutter comes disconnected, or make sure you've got gutters on your home. But gutters coming disconnected, or gutters dumping water next to the foundation, or grading, are simple things that you can do to
remediate them.
Yeah, to make sure the longevity of your home is going to stay consistent. It's easy to do. It's not expensive, but that causes thousands of dollars worth of damage.
Absolutely.
It's gutters and grading, believe it or not.
I feel like almost every house we inspect, downspout extensions are missing. Like there's always, it's really interesting that it's a consistent theme.
Yep.
So I was curious if you, what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I mean, the gutters is really, you can go to Lowe's and buy a gutter extension for $6. $6.
Right.
Put 3 of them on there, spend $20 and save yourself all kinds of grief.
Well, yeah, because if you can't afford to grade your property, that's an easy solution, you know.
Do what you can. I always tell people, do as much as you can. Understand people have budgets and you know, dollar constraints, but normally you can always do something to some degree to help the problem, keep your eye on it. That would be the biggest, would be gutters and grading. Yeah. And
then, so after a buyer moves in, are they able to call you and ask questions or advice?
I'll answer my phone 24/7. If I can get to it, I'll answer it. If I can't, you'll get a voicemail and I'll call you back as soon as I can. You call me anytime if you want to. I always encourage the buyers to, once you go through their report, if you've got any questions or concerns, call me. We can do a Zoom call. We can do a review over the phone. We can do whatever we need to. And then if you've got questions later on, too, then, you know, as you live in the home, give me a call. I'm here to support you, you know, during the inspection and after the inspection.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's important. Service is everything. You can have the best product in the world, the best service in the world, but if you don't continually support your client and service your product or your service, I think that's key.
Yeah, I think in the past I've even encouraged clients, you know, if you get an estimate from a contractor and you're not sure if that price looks right, I always say give Vince a call, double check with him. He can let you know if that sounds right or not.
I always encourage, you'll see on the summary report, there'll be a list of suggestions that I tell you as far as repair. You know, make sure that it's best possible that whoever's doing the repairs is licensed and bonded. Make sure they know what they're doing. If you can get a warranty on their work, make sure you get a warranty and get that documented. Make them write down on a piece of paper what they're going to do and kind of itemize the cost. Don't go into a repair and not know who it is, not know their qualifications, or not know how much they're going to charge. And be careful about giving all your money up front.
Yes, I was just going to say, I've seen a few news stories in the last year or two where people have given like $25,000 cash to get a job started, and the guy buys a new truck and he disappears, you know.
And it happens, and it's unfortunate, but just be smart about it and, you know, look at their reviews, build some confidence in about who it is and what they do and the quality of their work. And then that's going to help you better understand, you know, all construction people and repair people, they're going to need some money up front. I get it. I'm okay with that. I mean, on my personal home, I understand it. But, you know, you shouldn't be asking for a crazy amount of money. You know, I'd rather, here's you a little bit, and then the second week I'll give you a little more.
Right.
You know, do it that way. So be smart about it, because unfortunately it happens a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's where we come in. Like, we're your partners from not only the beginning, but through the finish line. You know, especially that year after you move in is really critical to resolving issues, because I always describe a house as a living, breathing thing.
It is.
And when a new family moves in, you might use the electricity, the air conditioner, everything 50 times more than the past family. And so while they never had issues, you might.
It's true.
You know, so it's really interesting the things that happen after closing.
That's another thing. HVAC, I always tell my clients, get a relationship with a local HVAC guy. And I'll pay a guy to come to my house. I pay him $70 a year. And he comes, he checks my refrigerator, and he checks the amp draw on the compressor. He cleans my coil. So I spend the $70 a year to have a maintenance done on my heat pump. And that way we can make sure that it's in good running condition. That's the best way to do it. Stay on top of your heat pump for $70 a year. Get it maintenanced and taken care of. Change your air filters.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a big one.
I go in some homes and they'll be just totally stopped up. And, and that's hard on your unit. That's a major component in cost to your home, so we have to take care of that.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
you know how it is. We get into these sub-zero temperatures once in a while, and then you're stuck up an icy driveway with no heat. I mean, you really want to be prepared for those things, you know.
Yeah.
So how can people reach you?
You can just call I'll leave you some cards here at the office, but in general it's 423-972-5976, or you can Google Effective Home Inspections of Tennessee, and there's a Google page. It'll pull up my business. There's all my reviews are there if you want to look at those, or you can go to ehi-tn.com and look at my website, which they're all linked together, so you can go from one to the other.
In ending, I think it's interesting because most of our clients are not from this area.
True.
And then even the people that are from here, I feel like people aren't really sure. Like, I think they have an idea of what they want aesthetically in a home, but I don't think they understand like the major components. So for Tennessee and Virginia as a whole, I want you to answer these questions as quickly as you can.
Oh, you don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, I am. Which do you think you have witnessed the least problems with?
The least
problems with in this general region of the country.
Okay.
So as far as the foundation, basement, slab, or crawl space?
Those are typically issues in this area.
All three of them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The exterior of the home, brick, vinyl, or hardy backer?
The one that has the least will be probably brick.
Brick.
Yeah.
Okay. Plumbing, copper or PEX?
Both are great products. I have copper in my home. PEX is a new generation material. It's very, very good.
Awesome.
There's advantages to both. PEX is very, very flexible, so you can move it through the home very easy and up through walls. So there's pros and cons, but I like them both.
Okay. Roof, composition, shingle, or metal?
Pros and cons to both. I mean, a metal roof, I have one on my house. The negative side to a metal roof is it's shot full of holes. Think about it. There's screws. There's literally thousands of screws in a roof. So the metal roof is no better than the rubber washer underneath it. So that's why it's really important to stay on top of your screws that hold your metal panels down. Well, metal panels will last 40 years, but they're no better than the screws that hold it down. So there's pros and cons to both. Composition roofs, probably the asphalt are less maintenance.
Okay. So as far as construction's considered, site built or manufactured?
Again, pros and cons to both. Site built, it's going to depend on your builder. If you have a good builder who's qualified and knows what he's doing, you're going to get a good built house on site. The pros of having it done in a manufactured, we say manufactured now, I'm thinking more of a not like a double wide we would call manufactured versus being a
modular.
A modular is a home built just like a stick built home or on-site home, except it's done in a factory. Well, if you think about it, if it's done in a factory, they have quality control standards.
Right.
So it's just like in manufacturing, you've got standards, you've got a quality control department, you've got people always watching the quality through the process. So you tend to get more consistency in a modular type home. Manufactured homes, kind of the same deal. It's just a different type of construction. I mean, it's just totally different as far as the durability side of it, and the price reflects that
for sure.
You know, so it just depends on what you're looking at. I mean, which one are you gonna have the least problem out of? I'd say on-site and a modular home are both going to be very good choices.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your perspective on everything, and I sure appreciate your time, and I look forward to working with you,
thank you
more in the future.
For bringing, let me come. I enjoy representing the home inspection industry. you do a great job, and I'm always pleased to work with good agents who care about their clients and want to do a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, give us a call. I'll try and put links in the comments. You can reach either of us anytime.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Yay.
Let's go.